Boom. And we're recording. All right, so good morning, everyone. It's 9:30 on Friday, November 8th. This is our last NCYC Group Leader Update live stream for NCYC 2019. We are 2 weeks away. So 2 weeks from right now, you'll all be leaving a general session, heading over to Indiana Convention Center for breakouts and an interactive village experience or prayer experience with your young people. So in like 2 weeks from right now, you'll be walking around in Indianapolis. That's kind of a neat thought. It's also a bit overwhelming. So a lot of details to get through. So what I'm hoping to do right now is just kind of give you a sense of where we can be and what we're going to be doing, and a little bit more of those details as necessary. So just bear with me as I get this set up and ready to go. Boom. So if somebody doesn't mind entering in the chat real quick, if you can just make sure you confirm that you're actually looking at the Group Leader live stream PowerPoint presentation, which is like one of the most exciting things you all get to see in your life. I know. You woke up this morning like, good luck, I get to see NCYC live stream. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on. So basically here's what we're going to talk about this morning, and I'm going to try to be quick. I already have the notes for this prepped up, so I'll try to send that email out maybe before noon. I do have a 10 o'clock meeting this morning I'm trying to get off to, and it also keeps me focused, so it saves your time too. So real quick this morning, details, we're going to talk about security, seating at NCYC, social media, etc. Just give you some more updates on that. Ways to be involved. Some of this is going to be repeat, some of it's going to be new. And then ways to start tweaking and planning ahead. So let's just jump right into this is the stuff. All right, so at this point, if I get an email about a group size change or a substitution, this is the face that comes on. It's actually a lot less cute and cuddly than the cat in front of you. So at this point, I know that we are packing things up. We are getting into transition mode from doing customer service to making sure that we keep your kids safe. The more changes we have in our system, the less reliable we are. So at this point, we do want to make sure you are in constant communication with us. If you have somebody who needs to drop out and somebody who's like critically important, like a kid who's only got like 2.5 weeks to live, and his big wish is to go to NCYC, like, then okay, yeah, we can make this work. Short of that, you are going to be asking us to make significant changes to our plan, and it just added stress to a chaotic week ahead of us. So be careful about asking for changes at this point. If somebody drops, the best thing is to just let them drop, and that's an empty spot. But feel free to call and ask, and just be prepared if Jim and I have to say no because of the chaos in the moment. So at this point, if you do have anybody's coming in a substitution or somebody else who wants to go, please make sure you contact us and get approval first. If we say yes, we're going to tell you we want 3 things from you: the individual registration form, the Archdiocesan liability, and the NFCYM liability form. Those 3 things need to come to us like quickly, like within 24 to 48 hours. The reason for that is because there's change that is happening, and we are waiting to do things until we get those things finalized. So if we know it's coming in, it just needs to come in. So that means really like call parents like that afternoon, go visit them at their house, get the forms collected, scan them and email them that night. Scanned copies and emailed copies are fine at this point, but they need to come in quickly. So it's not one of those things that I think I might have a substitution, I'll let you know in a week. At that point, the answer is no, you're not doing a substitution. We just can't plan for that anymore. All right. Also, this was a cool image. We have 13 schools in our diocese who are still in the football playoffs, so this is going to be complicating us a lot. So if you've got some kids who are affected by state football, and you haven't talked to me about contingency plans yet, please do so, just so we can talk that through. Of course, our prayer is that every team loses, even the teams that are playing each other. We hope they both just get disqualified or something, and that this doesn't become an issue. But really, it's kind of exciting that our schools are in competition, so that's cool. It does complicate things on the Thursday, Friday of NCYC. So if this affects you and you haven't talked to me about this yet, please let me know ASAP. We are tracking that. We got a staff person here whose job it is to track high school football, and she can tell about it. All right, for those of you who did not get to attend the chaperone formation training meetings in October, or have adults who haven't, I just recorded a very brief, and by very brief, it's still windy, 35 minutes long. It's a YouTube video. But the nice thing about it is it's segmented out, so you can just go to the comments section or the description of the video and just click on the section you want to watch. So I try to make it easy for you. I know there's a lot there, and it's probably more than you need. So feel free to refer your chaperones to this. By the way, you can write this link down, which would just be fun to watch you try to do, or I will have this in the notes that will come out later this afternoon, hopefully. If they don't come out this morning, they'll be tomorrow or Monday. So anyway, that's chaperone information. We had about half of our chaperones were present at one of the trainings, which is actually pretty good. So for those other half, if they want to get a familiarity with what's going to be happening, it's not a bad idea to put it in front of them. If you want to make it mandatory, it's your call as group leaders, but the resource is available for you. Some people have asked for the slideshow as well. That's not nearly as exciting. All right, bus boss details. We're finalizing this up real quick, just so you know. I'm going to be mailing a packet out probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. It's going to go to bus bosses. I've got the addresses. Those of you who responded to that email yesterday, awesome, thank you. It's going to have two bus signs, one for the front window, one for the door, that identifies your bus by number and by diocese. That's really important. I'm going to also attach a bus roster. That's why, again, we want to make sure these changes that are coming in, and we're getting them processed up sooner than later. So that roster is going to change anytime there's a substitution. I'm going to also include some bus activity ideas, so things you can do on the bus ride out and back. It's your job as bus boss to coordinate a meal stop with your driver. Depending on how far away you are from Indianapolis, you might only get a 1-hour lunch stop. So if you are less than 8 hours away, that was kind of what I went with. If you are further than that, you also get a half-hour stop in the morning. So it's going to be a really get on the bus and go. That allows you to be leaving later in the day, so you're not getting up at 2:30. You're getting up at 3. See how nice I am? All right. The bus boss job description will also be in that bus boss packet going out. So please keep an eye for that. So if you are a group leader but not a bus boss, you can go onto the group leader portal and find out who your bus boss is. That's in the layout now. For example, here's what you're going to be looking at when you go to the departure thing. So if you go to the bus roster on your group leader portal, you should be able to see stuff like that. This is just an example. It's bus 23. Loading and departure times are available. This is all AM, very, very AM. Please make sure you tell your people to get there 15 minutes before loading time. That means you will probably get there before the bus does, and that's okay, not to worry. If the bus is not there with 10 minutes before your departing time, by all means call me immediately. I'm sure I won't be sleeping at Thursday morning at 5 o'clock. Anyway, seriously, call me if the bus is not there by 10 minutes before departing time, not 10 minutes before loading time. They're not supposed to be there before loading time. Don't get worried about it. Also, please note that there's some of our buses have 2 loading locations. This is just they're picking up one group and they're traveling to pick up another one on their way. Sometimes it's on their way. If you are the 3rd group and your parish is not at, like for bus 23, if you're not from St. Paul and Traer, or you're not from St. John the Baptist in Mount Vernon, but you're still on that bus, you get to decide which of those spots makes the most sense for your young people, and you know what to tell them to arrive 15 minutes before that loading time. But do reach out to that bus boss and contact them and let them know when they should expect to see your group boarding. We don't want Charlene here waiting for people at St. Paul. She won't be there anyway. She won't be getting onto a second location, but this is how it all works. So the bus boss cell and the bus boss email is accessible on the group leader portal. I just blocked out Charlene's here because I don't want a whole bunch of robots calling her or people trying to get her car insurance up to speed or whatever. All right, so that's just hidden there, but you can actually see it in the group leader portal if everybody wanted to go try to find Charlene's contact information. Have fun with that. All right, so here's the arrival plan. Buses will be arriving between 2:30 and 3:30 p.m. So the target is about 3 o'clock, but we don't want every bus showing up at the same time. 3:15 is probably the ideal time to arrive for our smaller properties who are trying to get those room keys ready. If you get there at 2:30, you might not have your room keys ready quite yet, but the Wyndham has a few buses that are planning to get there at 2:30, so that's why that time's there. Otherwise, 3 to 15 is a good target window for you. When you arrive at the smaller properties, the Wingate, the Courtyard, and the Hyatt, the hotel coordinator for that property will come onto the bus, make announcements while the bus driver is pulling luggage off the bottom of the bus. They will make a few announcements and then hand out your room keys to the kids. As they get off, then they grab their room key, grab their luggage, and go to their room. At those smaller properties, there will be a group leader meeting. That's you, group leaders, in the lobby or the meeting room. Again, your hotel coordinator will tell you where that's going to happen. At that meeting, you will get credentials for your group, and your Jimmy John supper will be available there. So you can, as a group leader, then hand out a meal and credentials as the kids are getting on the bus for the opening session at 5:30. So everybody's back on their buses at 5:30 for downtown with credentials on and Jimmy John supper in hand. Okay, a couple of exceptions, the Crown and Wyndham. These are larger hotels. They just do things differently. The group leaders, when you get to that hotel, your whole group will come off the bus and you will go in to check in and get your room keys. Group leaders, when you pick up your room keys, you also get a list of announcements. Now, those announcements are coming up, I think, on the next slide. Um, and we'll be sharing these with you in other ways as well. But you make sure you read those announcements to your kids before you give them their room keys. Once they get the room keys, they go into their room and get checked in, and they are to be back down into your ballroom by 4 o'clock, 3:45. If at the Crown, we're hoping that Archbishop Jacobs will be there, and we'll have a mass for the people staying at the Crown at 4 o'clock ish. During the mass, group leaders will step aside and you'll meet with Jim Betzner, who's going to go through his announcements with you, and you'll be able to get your credentials and get organized for handing that stuff out. This is a daily mass. It's probably going to be 30 minutes long. So by 4:45, we envision you having time to then distribute those credentials and meet with your kids about getting ready for that afternoon while we're waiting for Jimmy John's to deliver those meals to your buses. Buses depart at 5 o'clock. At Wyndham, same kind of thing. At 4 o'clock, we're going to have Doug Took, who spoke to our group 4 years ago, I think, and he's going to come again and engage our kids at the Wyndham from 4 o'clock to 4:45 while group leaders are meeting, getting their credentials and getting everything they need ready to go to distribute to their kids. All right, so that's the plan at all of our hotels for Thursday afternoon. I will say this is the highest chaotic moment of the whole NCYC trip is Thursday check-in, getting credentials, getting the food, all that kind of stuff. So we just do ask for your patience. If you've got questions or concerns that come up that aren't urgent, write them down, because when you get back to your hotel that night, you're going to be able to meet with your hotel coordinator and communicate with them everything you need to know or everything they need to know. And you can ask all the questions and take care of room changes and stuff, notifying us about those changes at night. But if there's time in the afternoon, try to do it then. That's what that 4 o'clock meeting time is for. But it's chaos, and so if things just aren't going according to plan, just make notes and talk to your hotel coordinator later that night when you get back. Okay, we'll do everything we can to take care of you, but there's only so much time. Here's the brief summary of those announcements I was talking about. It's basically 4 points that we want everybody to know about. Once they get their room key, generally speaking, in all of our properties, everybody's going to get their own key. It's not like 4 boys are going to share 2 keys. Everybody gets their own key envelope. Make sure they don't keep it near their phones, because if the phone rings near the card, it can deactivate the card. The magnetic strip gets affected. So just make sure they keep it. I recommend putting it right in their lanyard, and they keep it with them all the time. Boys and girls rooms are separate, clearly. So there's never a time where girls should be in boys' room or boys in girls' room, and that probably applies to adults unless you're married. Always be quiet in the hallways, so start working on enforcing that as much as you can. So even when they're getting checked into the room on Thursday at 3 o'clock, try to encourage them to practice the discipline of whispering in the hallway, or at least being indoor voices. Kids can get excited, we know that, but at the nighttime and in the morning, when we're leaving in the morning and when we're getting back at night, there will be other guests who are sleeping during those times, so we just want to always teach them to be quiet in the halls. And finally, there's going to be an announcement about when to be back downstairs. They should bring their coats with them because they are going to be leaving right from that assembly, whether it's at 4 o'clock or at 4:30, whatever time it is based on your property. They're going to be leaving right from that assembly to get on their bus to go downtown. Okay, those are the announcements, and these will be printed for you and available for you at the property. NCYC security is going to be different this year. So I talked about this at some of the chaperone training meetings, but I did not have this for all of the chaperone training meetings. So there will be airport-style metal detectors getting into Lucas Oil Stadium, and bags can be searched. So please make sure your young people know that they're not supposed to bring any of the stuff on this list, because it will cause things to slow down and problems. So we are going to give a bit more time also for Lucas Oil entry. I recommend that our group always use the south entrance to Lucas Oil. When you get dropped off by bus, you'll be on the south side. So even on the night sessions, when you're coming down from the Indiana Convention Center, I recommend you walk around Lucas Oil and come in the south doors. There's going to be a long line of people getting through security, so just go to the doors on the south side kind of consistently. Now that might need to adapt depending on how many gates are open, but that's my recommendation for us for all times. That comes up more in a little bit too. Talked about this communication plan already. I've seen some people are following us on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for doing that. If you're going to be doing young people engagement, if you have other planning sessions, or if you're speaking to the masses, snap some shots of that and post them up onto Twitter and Instagram. Tag us at 1700 Strong or hashtag biggest NCYC group ever. Archdiocese and Facebook page, I think it's DBQ Arch. at DBQ Arch for the Archdiocese on Facebook, is where we're directing parents for information. Our communications office is tracking everything we're doing on Twitter and Instagram, and they're going to be posting things that are pertinent to parents on the Archdiocese Facebook page. While at NCYC, our primary means of communication is going to be texting. Jeremy Jones from our communications office is setting up that texting list right now. He's going to probably do a test the Monday of NCYC week. That means all your chaperones will probably get a text saying you signed up with the NCYC Archdiocese, whatever, texting group. Just so you might want to let them know that that's coming. That's not spam. It's a good thing. This is how we're going to communicate primarily. People who said they would like to prefer communications by email, we will also send out an email frequently throughout the experience that's going to direct them to our updates or include the updates. We'll also be posting the updates on the NCYC website, so they can go there as well. And we will be running off 50 hard copy newsletters, and those will be available at the Archdiocesan booth in the Interactive Village on Friday and Saturday. Okay, there's also going to be an app coming soon. Look to NCYC.info to see when that app is available. I don't know if it's available yet. This is going to be replacing the participant handbook for teens, so all of the information about general sessions and breakout sessions that used to be available in this little book. The books are only being printed for each adult in your group, so there will be some, but not enough for all participants. It's just a cost-saving measure, and it's pretty smart because teens are more used to using their phone anyway. The full schedule is available now on the website, ncyc.info. So if you want to go there now and start looking through what those options are and workshops are, you might want to put that in front of your kids so they can start planning their experience already. Right. So here's the main entrance to the Interactive Village. Our Archdiocesan booth is a quick hook pattern. So I think it's a hook. All right, you're going to go and you're going to go to the right, and boom, right here. This is where the diocese is. So we're going to be right here. Here's the NCYC, NFCYM. All right, the NCYC merchandise booth is here. NFCYM's here. Bishops are here. So we're kind of in like a pretty popular walk spot. We would like everybody to stop by and say hi. You know, it's kind of cool. We're going to be sitting there probably like twiddling our thumbs, like wishing we had work to do. Anyway, there's going to be things that go on there. So we do encourage you to stop by. Numbers 801 to 805. For group leaders, this is a great spot to communicate with us about anything like room changes, communication issues, hotel issues, meeting other group leaders, talking about how the day's going, whatever, just processing. I'm not sure we're going to have any cool giveaways for adults. I can't promise you that we're going to have beverages or snacks or shrimp cocktails. I don't know. For adults, this is where you come to pick up your hard copy newsletter. You can also leave notes for each other. So if you wanted to communicate something, you can write a note down. We're going to have a process for that, so you can leave notes for other people to pick up there. It might be easier for you than whatever. I don't know. If you've got a lost and found item and you want to bring it there and you know it belongs to a kid or whatever, they're going to pick it up. This is a good spot to do it. You can also stop there to arrange for a pickup with the A-team. So if you've got a sick kid, you can text or call the A-team member on call, or you can swing by the booth and we can help you do that there too. For teens, we are trying to engage them with who they are in the Archdiocese, so we're going to have a little pin map for them to put a pin in, so where they live, their actual houses. That's kind of a cool concept. I'm looking forward to seeing that map, but also to share some program possibilities for them when they get back. So our ERC, Education Resource Center, is creating a box full of different program resources, CD packages, books, you know, whatever else that young people might want to explore when they get back. You know, the wide range of different kinds of engaging resources that are available. So I want to put those in front of kids so they can kind of page through them and look and see what maybe so there's something interesting to them that they would not have otherwise thought about doing. We're also going to have promotional materials for tech. Might be talking about the Life on the Edge program a little bit too for select audiences. But we want to have the resources for all the things going on, like the Catholic Heart Work Camp. Oop, I spelled Catholic Heart Work Camp wrong. That's anyway. And Calmer coming up. That's kind of neat that we have that in our diocese. So if you want to stick around and like help talk to teens about what they could do when they get back, if you think you've got quite an awareness for that, we love to have another adult there who can just really help love these kids and kind of guide them to what's available for them when they get back to their parishes in a diplomatic way. All right. So here's the other thing. Saturday night, we have been assigned seats again. We will be the Red Sea at the closing mass wearing our brick red shirts. Our diocesan shirts are worn on Saturday. And so to facilitate that and to get us in quicker with security, again, if we're going to enter through the south gates, we have seatings reserved for us on the south side. So a couple things. If you want to be on the floor because you like the mosh pit thing, do that some other time other than Saturday night. Saturday night's mass, it's a prayer setting. So us sitting where we can actually see, which is up on the seats, makes more sense. There's not a bad seat in the house, but anyway, these are our assigned seats. So this is where we're going to go. So to make it even easier for you, each group has an assigned section. So I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. This will all be available in the notes that'll come out again this afternoon as well. But in section 124, here's the parish or cluster groupings that are assigned to section 124. It's a bit more sizable, but if this is you, just write down section 124. Again, you'll come in the south gates if you can and make your way to section 124, and all of these parishes will be there. There's 60 to 80 empty seats in each section. I mean, so we're not filling it, but the odds are you're going to want to get in and go to the front and start filling up all the way back. If you wanted to get there before Mass and put like coats or backpacks on seats, those are our assigned seats. So you should not be competing with any other dioceses, but there will be other parishes you're competing with, namely the ones you see here. Section 125, same plan. So if you are one of these parishes or groups, please jot down the number section 125. I'm not sure how to communicate this more efficiently, but anyway, this is where your assigned seat would be. So section 125. Section 126, here we are, same thing. Again, get there a little bit early, fill in from the front to the back if you don't mind. Section 127 is a little bit easier. If you bring 200 kids, you get your own section and your own hotel. Just so you know, I'm putting that out there in case you have aspirations of someday wanting your own hotel, 4 buses, and your own reserved seat section. Just bring 200 kids. That's all you got to do. It's a piece of cake. Piece of cake. Ask Annie. She'd say it's a piece of cake. Not a problem at all. Section 128, if you are at the courtyard or the Wingate, you are going to be in section 128. That became easy for me to do the assignments. And then 129 is this group of folks here, pretty much Cedar Rapids parishes and surrounding. Okay, so section 129. All right, so hopefully you've got those. If you need to, Annie's chat was funny. If you need to see these again or have any questions about this or I went too quick, just shoot me an email. It's pretty quick, but it will be in the notes as well. People ask about NCYC service opportunities available at the Interactive Village. This is what they're looking for. It's a project called WaterStep is looking for used shoes. I guess new shoes wouldn't apply. I don't know. Friends of Haiti is looking for school supplies. Terre Haute Catholic Charities is looking for personal toiletries, etc. St. Elizabeth's is looking for household supplies. And so if you wanted to bring some of these, that's all well and good, but please do me this favor. Do not expect me to carry it for you. So if you are going to bring 18 cases of size 4 and 5 diapers, then you got to find a way to carry that to Lucas Oil Stadium on Friday morning and sit with it and then drag it over to the thematic park or Interactive Village to drop it off with St. Elizabeth's. So if you want to do something like this, again, that's fine. If you want to collect money and give them cash instead, I think that might be fine. I don't know, but I just do know that this becomes cumbersome as far as lugging things around. So anyway, I'm putting the invite out because I've asked to, but I'm just telling you, just be prepared for the logistics of what if you tell kids to bring a whole bunch of school supplies and everybody brings a spiral notebook and you got to carry those around for the day. I'm just saying. The reason I point this out is I once had to drop off like 8 boxes full of books. Anyway, pain in the butt. Pain in the back, really. All right. Finally, we still need money counters, so I'm down to like 6 more spots still available. So if you've got a surplus adult, somebody who's not facilitating a small group conversation on Saturday night, that's what I mean by surplus. And if all of your adults are busy doing small group, that's a great problem to have. I'd much rather your adults be working with their young people. But if you've got some surplus adults, please let me know. I need 6 more. We should be done about midnight. It's real fun. They actually have a cash counter this year and a coin counter. So it should be a lot more fun than it was 2 years ago. Please, 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 if you don't mind helping us out with that night, that would be awesome. We should be back about midnight. And I don't think we're going to get stuck in an elevator again. But you know, if we want to, we can always explore that possibility. All right, and then real finally, we're nearing the end here. Most important day of NCYC is the Monday after. So really, 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 NCYC is only successful if it leads to more fruitful ministry at the parish and beyond. So start planning now, start thinking now. What could that look like? What could it be? Who are the adults you could lean on to help you do that? We're going to have resources, like I said, at the Archdiocesan booth that you can explore to see if one of these programs or products might be something you can use with young people. And by all means, if you've got questions, you want to do something, but you don't know how to do it, call me, call us. Joanne's awesome with that kind of stuff. Mary Peterson's got great ideas. Matt Selby's been in the field. He knows what's going on. Mindy Hart up in Waverly, our disability inclusion director, has a lot of experience with other things as well. And so all of us are here to help you. The ladies in the ERC, Kim and Tricia, are brilliant about what resources are available. So the whole team's here to help you. You're not doing this by yourself. And in fact, another idea, it's talk to the people around you. So when you go to your ministry affiliated cohorts, if you're a part of a MAC, bring that question. What can we do differently? What can we add following NCYC? What's a way to improve and grow our youth ministry? So have that conversation together. And if there's anything we can do to help you in that question or conversation, just all you got is let us know. All right, finally, please plan for, I don't know if this is actually finally, we got more to go. All right, so please plan on joining us for this group leader wrap and recap, January 26th. It'll just be that afternoon. We're just gonna have a nice gathering and just talk about the previous slide. What's going on, what went well at NCYC, and what can we do better moving forward in youth ministry in the Archdiocese. So it's a chance to take this great opportunity from NCYC and propel us to something more. So Katie Prezama-Grady, who will be speaking at the Women's Conference on Saturday night, will also be helping us out. This is not going to be a repeat experience. So by all means, if you are of the woman type, go to the Women's Conference. This is not going to be, like, she's not going to say the same thing to us as she says there. So this is free. That'll be better. This will be awesome, but that'll be better. Cool. Okay. Partner dioceses, again, if you haven't done this yet, I just do plug this challenge into your kids. If you want to take a collection at NCYC, we would find a way to do it. We are still significantly short of our goal of 17,000. It's $10 a kid is what we're looking for. A lot of parishes have kicked in. A lot of you have already done this. So I really appreciate the effort, and I can just tell you how grateful they are to be able to do this. We're really making a difference for these young people. So whatever you can do to help out with that, that would be awesome. If you want to send in a contribution, maybe you have surplus fundraising money. Some people are laughing, I get that. But if you've got surplus fundraising money, even 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 75 bucks, ask your kids, do you want to buy more clothespins that'll just be thrown away in 3 weeks? Or do you want to send money to help some people have an experience that'll change their life? I mean, it's up to you. Right? How's that for Catholic guilt? All right. So send us a check, make it out Archdiocese Dubuque, but in the memo, put NCYC Diocesan Partnership. That way we make sure we know where it's going. All right. Excuse me. There's a webinar coming up. This is actually pretty cool. This is just coming up on Tuesday, so it's not a lot of notice. But one of the things I talked about at the chaperone training was how are we going to address internet safety with our young people? And then this webinar idea came around. So this is something you might want to put out to your parents. This is something you might want to see first, and you can always point them to the recorded version. All these webinars that the NFCYM does are recorded, and we can always go back and view them later. So if you want to watch this on Tuesday and you think it's good for your family, send it out to your families, because there might be a lot of ways that parents are looking for resources to talk to their kids about things like internet safety and bullying and all that kind of stuff. So this might be really helpful for you to give to your parents. By all means, if you are a parent, that's what I would be looking at going to this work, because I got two kids who I need to be a better dad for. So anyway, here's a resource I wanted to put in front of you. Take advantage of it if you can. Oh boy, and then we've got 5 Teens Encounter Christ retreats coming up this spring, and there's one coming up even this weekend. So Wallards Tech is already closed off, so we're not taking any more registrations for it. But please do promote the ones coming up in spring. This is a great 3-day experience for young people, 11th to 12th graders. Again, 11th and 12th graders. It used to be only for seniors, now it's for both. Put this idea in front of young people. Finally, as a faith formation leader in the Archdiocese, somebody who's committed to the lives of young people, we want you to be on the team. There's a lot of reasons for that. One is because you have a gift to share, and we want our young people to be spending time with you. You are probably better at the youth accompaniment stuff than average folk because of your field, because it's your profession, your calling. So we want you on those teams. It's going to be better for our kids, but it also gives you a chance to see what the flavor of tech is like. And so this is something that's really hard to promote something you've not seen. So if you are willing to take one of these 3-day weekends, I know time is sparse, and it's really hard to find flexibility in time. But this is kind of, I think, I would put this up and say this is kind of a nice challenge for every youth ministry coordinator in the Archdiocese to do one tech per year. It's a 1 3-day weekend as a gift to the Archdiocese. And it will make your parish stronger and your young people stronger too if we take advantage of these resources together. So I'm not a big fan of saying that tech is going to be the second coming of Christ. It's a great encounter. It's a great retreat. No retreat is perfect. No program is perfect. And so I'm not going to say that you have to do tech or you're not doing good youth ministry. But I'm just saying this is a great opportunity and it's worth exploring. So Please, if you can't make a tech or work on a tech retreat, at least try to recruit your 11th to 12th graders. We've got promotional materials here, and we'll be sending them home on your buses as well. So please make sure you distribute those to all the 11th to 12th graders on your bus. And other promotional resources will be coming out on that bus ride back too. So if you're interested in signing up a team, let me know, and I'll connect you with the tech director, and we'll get you squared away. I mean, it's a simple thing. Just let me know if one of these weekends work, and we'll try to get you on that team. All right. At this point, it is 10 o'clock. I did it. It was 30 minutes. Any questions, concerns? Go ahead and enter into the chat. Otherwise, shoot me an email. And again, just due to time constraints, I'm going to wait a few seconds to see what comes around. You can also unmute yourself and just start talking. That'd be kind of weird and scary, but let's see what happens. Otherwise, send a chat or email or call. Like I said, I'll be in a meeting today until about noon, and then I got to meet with their bus company this afternoon, which reminds me, details on the bus plan might be changing depending on how my conversation with the bus guy goes this afternoon. So if there's changes, just look to your group leader portal. That's where everything will be current as soon as I get them. Tech materials are on the website, Ken's. They go to dbqarch.org/TEC. You should be able to download the promotional materials there. If you want hard copies printed and sent to you, just let me know how many you want and where to send them, and we'll get them mailed off right away. All right. Hey, 2 weeks. Let's do this thing, huh? All right, everyone. Thanks for everything you're doing, and you've worked so hard to pull this together, and I'm so grateful for your young people. Participant journals. Okay, that's a great question. There's let me clarify this, Zeke. There are the participant journals that you can order. They're $3 each, and those are like your flip through book. I don't have one in front of me. I'm looking as if I do though. I don't know why. I know I don't have one. So anyway, there's that's little journaling kind of thing for kids to carry with them. The other thing we talked about is the youth experience journal, which is for your group to record their thoughts as a communal notebook. That's going to be given to you at NCYC. If you've ordered them, you should have received them. So I guess the question would be, did you order them and when? If you don't recall, shoot me an email with how many you want, and I will check. And if not ordered, I will get that order in. It will probably be mailed by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And so you would probably get them the Monday or Tuesday before you go. All right. In addition to that, the youth program books we talked about, those are the 3 books: the participant journal, the experience journal for the parish, and the program books. The program books, again, youth aren't getting them this year, only adults are. Okay, good question. Anything else? It looks like everybody's already leaving. That's kind of fun and sad, but totally understandable. All right, thanks for everything you all do. We're lucky to have you on board. All right, take care, and if anything we can do for you to help, anything we can do to help you, whatever, by all means, let us know. And have a great weekend. All right, and go see For King of Country tonight in Cedar Rapids at the US Cellular Center. Anybody else going? Anybody else going? I'm going to be there. It'll be kind of fun. All right, talk to you later. Okay, be good. Peace.